Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA, and I'm really excited to show you guys this car. This is my friend Marshall. Dave Salvaggio had a company called Salvaggio Auto Design. He stopped that to start Speedcore. There was a split, yada, yada, yada. Now he's back to Salvaggio Auto Design and doing great work. I mean, Dave, in my opinion's like, he set himself up pretty well to be known for all the Mopar stuff he does, you know? So I think you made a great choice going with him. Plus, not just one, but two kick-ass designers. I mean, you got Gary Ragle, right? Gary was responsible for the exterior, and then didn't Sean do the interior?
Yeah, and once Salvaggio took it, Gary and Sean kind of worked together to finish the exterior, and then Sean took over and finished the interior all by himself.
That's right. You started this with somebody else first, right?
Yeah, it's bounced around a little bit. I sought out Salvaggio, and I've seen all his Mopars. He does phenomenal work. So
he does.
Yeah.
71 this one is?
71 Cuda. It was original, other than the motor trans, but
yeah,
I bought it from the original owner.
From the original? So you're technically the second owner of this car?
Yeah. He had it for 50 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it must have been a pretty clean car.
Oh yeah.
Then is all the sheet metal on the car, is this still original sheet metal?
No, he replaced, I think, both the rear quarter panels. I believe one of the front quarter panels, I think it was the driver's side, and then he got the roof because it started as a vinyl top and there's a little bit of rust once he pulled it off. So
sure, always.
Deleting the drip rails and all that stuff and doing the flush mount. So,
yeah. In the realm of customs, we've gone so far into the extremes, right? Widening, and where you look at the car and you go, oh yeah, I can tell everything on there's been changed. This is super understated where as you start looking, I mean, little things like you go, oh shit, that's all carbon.
Yeah.
Oh, the grill's different. Oh, yeah. So let's start with, because I think this is really cool stuff. Let's pop the hood. I just said we're gonna do mechanical, but how can you not point out that? These are custom.
Those are custom, yeah. Dave had those made. It goes with the black nickel chrome. Everything you see that's chrome.
I don't know if you caught that,
nickel.
Josh, but it's notched here, so your pin, the way the pin slots in there, that's badass, dude.
Yeah.
So carbon hood, obviously.
Yeah.
God dang, man. That is just so clean, Marshall. This one got the Hellephant, didn't it?
Yeah, so it's got the Hellephant, and Dave has done so many of these that Salvaggio that he knows the cam and the Demon is much better, so he swapped out and put a Demon cam in it. He modified the Supercharger. You know, it was originally a shaker hood. Yeah. And so I wanted to keep that, but he had to deal with the Supercharger. So this is actually a milled aluminum billet piece. And then you just got the carbon cover on top.
Yeah. And I'm guessing the venting's probably still functional.
Yeah.
What are you making power-wise with this?
It's out, same as out of the crate though.
It is?
Yeah.
I know your manual. What do you go to, a Tremec?
Yeah, we got the 660 Tremec 6-speed.
And then rear end on it, I'm guessing a 9-inch?
Yes, 9-inch. It's got the independent and then 4-link.
So your independent front, 4-link rear.
Correct.
I'm assuming this is on a Salvaggio chassis.
Correct, yeah.
Right?
He builds them on that jig. I don't know if you've been to a shop, but with that jig, I mean, everything drops in perfectly. It's level. It's better than going to buy some chassis off the shelf somewhere. Full carbon engine bay. The actual hood is all carbon too.
Yeah.
The more you look, the more you see, kind of thing.
Yeah. I love the color of the block.
Yeah, so we wanted to kind of make it pop, and we actually matched that with the Dakota Digital custom gauges in the dash there.
Oh,
so
very cool.
You'll get to see that in a little bit.
Oh my God, this is just beautiful, man. Beautiful. God, this is all one-off stuff, huh? Just bitching. I mean, I know you guys, there's brakes under here, you just can't see them because of these wheels.
So he's got the bare brakes all the way around. She definitely stops.
Is it a manual brake or is it a powered brake?
I believe it's a power brake. Yeah.
What are the wheels?
These are the HRE one-offs.
This is the one they did on the Kevin Hart Roadrunner, right?
Yeah, without the stripe on it. So the actual wheel itself is 3-piece and then the cap is 3-piece. So it kind of pays homage to the rest of the, we wanted it to kind of look like a sleeper a little bit but
I mean,
you look at it, it's a 71.
Yeah, but the wheels really settle the car down.
Yeah.
There's so much of this car to the untrained eye, I swear they'd go, wow, that's a really pretty car. And they would have no idea that everything's been touched on.
Yeah.
It's staggered, right?
Yes, so you got 18 in the front, 285 18s, and then the 345 20s in the back.
Right.
obviously a killer stance on it.
Oh, it's so good, man. That's one of the things about chassis build. When you stay with stock framework, even though you can get them driving great, you know, with bolt-on suspension, and so there's so much available now, but you can't stuff the chassis up into the body like you do with this.
Exactly.
You know? God, this is just so slick.
Yeah, and so Gary actually, Ragle came up with these, and we were originally going to do them in carbon, but we kind of wanted to break it up with the 3D fender vents, because you remember how the old ones look? They were just kind of like flat on the car. These look kind of bring it into the modern
functional, or are they?
No, they're not.
No, just decorative.
Just decorative,
okay.
yeah, like the old ones, and but they look killer in the the black nickel chrome.
The black nickel chrome's amazing on this, because the chrome's all bright, but yet it's not.
You're right. Those turned out killer.
So it's stock body dimensions. There's no widening to the
No,
body.
we didn't extend it or widen it or anything.
But like I can see you did obviously take the drip rail down, still leave it.
The trim used to be on the exterior, so now he kind of tucked it in. So, it's less subtle.
Smart.
And then they obviously did the flush mount glass, which I was very adamant about that.
I mean, you going this far, you better go flush mount.
Exactly.
Same on the rear, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm guessing this isn't a color picked from something. This is probably a one-off color.
Yeah, it is. So Dave and I went back and forth, and I think he sent me like 10 speed squares at one point, and I sent him 5 back, said mix these, and we finally landed on something. And I mean, it's even better looking in the sun, so it kind of changes colors on you.
Obviously, I saw it at SEMA. I just saw it again this weekend at Grand National, but you're seeing it inside of a building, the lights, there's a million other cars around, so you don't really see how good the car is. And now out here, it's such a badass car. I mean, the geeky little things like gaps, I mean, I dare anyone to try to pick apart the gaps on this car.
Yeah, and those lights this weekend at the Roadster show, I mean, they highlighted how straight this thing is. So, I went up and visited him a couple times, Dave, while he was doing it. And, people don't understand why these things are so expensive, because they just go through it back and forth and back and forth. And I mean,
well, just like this alone, looking at your tucked, flushed in bumpers, how many hours go into that?
Yeah.
You gotta have 50 grand in just that alone on this car.
Oh yeah, probably more. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're not supposed to talk dollars.
My wife's not
because
listening to this, so we're good.
See, that's the thing. When you talk prices though, what you gotta do is talk wife prices. Like you got what, 40 grand in this one?
Yeah, like 12?
Maybe? Yeah.
Something like that.
That's all nothing. That's another slick one, dude. The exhaust through the lower valance.
Yeah, so that's where the bumperettes used to be. Bumperettes do nothing. I was very specific with Dave. I said, we're gonna have those bumperettes be the exhaust tips. And it took him a little time, but he had to have those molded, and then Ogden had to pour them straight out of the mold. But they turned out killer, exactly what I wanted.
God, I love this.
Yeah, and then he's got the rear carbon valance.
There's so much subtlety on this car, because that lower carbon piece, most people aren't even gonna see that.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
I mean, you stand up here, you really don't see it. You just see the painted valance with the exhaust.
Yeah.
And then all carbon here as well.
Yeah, tail panels, carbon.
The tail panel and the whole front grill's carbon.
Yeah,
right?
and we pulled all that off the original pieces.
Really?
Yeah, it was the only way to do it. This was very difficult from what I understand, because it's all one piece.
Oh my God, and then down here they did the same as well with the...
Yeah, and then they nickel chromed the D-rings. So, and then the headlight
and all
rings.
the headlight.
Yeah, Dave kind of had to talk me into the brights being the yellow lights, but they do look badass when you got them all on. And then the lower valance, that's how it looked before. We just pulled the mold off of that for the carbon. So it's literally the exact same body shape, except the flush mount glass tapered in a little bit with the 3D fender vents.
The other thing I love, by the way, is the headlight choices to not go with, and I'm not knocking
like LED
any of the
rings. Yeah.
It looks like a stock, really beautiful Cuda.
Yeah, then you pop the hood or go inside.
Even the thought of this here, by the way, I love that, how it recesses into there.
Yeah.
So it's not this massive hood hinge.
All these builds, they have a name to them. I had Poseidon. It was going to be Poseidon, because it's a fish, the Cuda. And at the last second, I think, before we started badging stuff, I came up with Barbaric, Barracuda, but so.
Yeah.
And that's so much cooler. You'll see the logo inside, so.
God, look, even the freaking door handles.
Yeah.
I mean, mimicking the original, but not.
And he kind of, Dave did the matte inside, and you'll see it matches the cup holders, interior of the cup holder.
Holy cow, dude. Obviously a Gabe's interior.
Yeah.
Just the damn floor, brother.
The flooring in the passenger and drivers, that's actually boat decking. So it's a two-piece. The black under part is one piece, and then the brown part is another piece, and they kind of mold it together.
So obviously custom pedals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, is this just ridiculous? I didn't even know, God, you guys did a great job hiding the cage, huh?
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't realize there's a cage. You know,
I hadn't noticed that this car was
well, it wasn't wrapped at SEMA.
Okay.
But I sent it back to Gabe and he wrapped these bars. It just looks so much cleaner.
God, I just love that you're a manual car. That's so slick.
Still a little tight.
For sure. That's a close ratio too.
Yeah, it's a short throw, I think.
Damn, look at the clearance right there when you're down into second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we moved the cup holders to the back. They used to be one right where that black spot is next to the shifter. I kept hitting my arm on it when I was in, and I was like, yeah, let's get this.
That's smart. Get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Still have them. It's nice.
And so this is the barbaric Cuda logo.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And so we actually incorporated that into the.
That's slick.
And so if you turn the ignition over a little bit, you can see it's in the gauges.
Oh yeah. That's the only other place that color is, huh?
Yeah, it's a little subtle stuff.
That's such a Sean Smith kind of thinking.
Yeah.
And how you work the barbaric in there.
Yeah.
Dude, did Sean come up with this?
No, actually I came up with it mostly, and then Randy Russell helped finish it with a few more teeth and all that stuff, but I chat GPT'd that thing and it popped it up, baby. Yeah.
What a stunning interior.
And so you see the carbon kind of comes into the interior in the dash. Gabe's really knocked it out of the park.
And the only thing, I know we talked about it the other day, you are doing seat belts, they're just not in there. Yeah. This car's so freshly built.
Mm-hmm. What is there, 30 miles on it?
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, there you go.
Is this your air?
Yeah, that's the air AC controls. We were kind of getting down to the wire, and he ended up doing a linear diffuser for the HVAC, the HVAC venting. So if you see the little gray bars.
This here?
Yeah, that's all now
I see the openings,
Yeah, and so you got one over here. You know, they brought the carbon into all the door panels, quarter panels, and they did the seat delete. That seat delete looks killer.
That is just awesome. I just noticed you.
Yeah, the sill plate, yeah.
You don't seem like the kind of guy that's like, build me a car, I'll send you checks, call me when it's done.
No.
Like, you were probably heavily involved.
We were fighting, yeah. But it was good, we're all good. Yeah, ultimately, it speaks for itself.
I'll say. The one thing I was curious, it's a full custom exhaust done on this car.
Oh yeah, MagnaFlow, 3-inch, all the way to the end, and then obviously the custom tips.
Right.
Yeah, so they brought the boat decking to the back with the black nickel chrome, and you got your stereo system underneath. Obviously the carbon. And one of the cool things, Dave did this after, but these are charging posts for trickle.
Here?
Yeah. You can
no shit.
So you can just charge it.
I love that.
Yeah, isn't
That's
that nice?
So cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't have to mess with Gabe's pretty job and get into that battery.
That's smart to do that, man. Bitch and car, you gotta be just stoked. Huh?
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I can't wait to get it home, so.
You guys, he's all the way out here from South Carolina. He's put thousands of miles on the trailer and truck. Until this morning, I didn't know that you went from South Carolina up to Wisconsin, picked up the car, trekked south to miss all the weather coming across.
Yeah, and then cut over. Yeah, it's been quite the journey, but it's fun. And it wasn't for nothing. We, got some good awards last night. So.
What'd you guys pick up at the show?
Pro Touring first place in our class, and then Street Machine sweepstakes. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. I'm not surprised, dude. I figured there had to be awards coming into play with this one. Well, let's go drive it, brother.
Cool.
Yeah.
drives pretty good. I mean, it's pretty smooth, you know, with how,
I mean, just with a
powerful
couple
it is.
seconds of seat time, yeah. Boy, the suspension sure feels dialed in.
it is, yeah. They adjusted it after SEMA because it kind of settled.
Sure. Dying to get this thing home.
Oh yeah.
We're driving down, like I know these roads really well. It's a fairly bumpy road. This car just sits nice. Boy, the sound is just right on point. It's loud enough, because it's loud. It's not a quiet car.
No.
I'll bet it just, when you're probably hammering on it, it probably gets really loud.
Yeah, it gets nasty.
Because I've just heard a little bit like, just that much. It's making noise. Well, I love the gauges.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean knocked it out of the park with those.
It's like trying to pay attention to the road and I keep looking around at the ridiculous interior. God dang, Marshall, you got some hell of a car here, brother.
Yeah, those guys over at Gabe's, they're freaks.
There's no choice on this car that bothers me. There's not one thing. When they're this good, I have a tendency to do this. When they're so good, you have a tendency to find the tiny little things. Like right now, the steering wheel's slightly off. Not a big deal, right? There's nothing I can find where I go, oh, why did you do that? Or why didn't you do this? And boy, it's so fun seeing that hood, that mimicking the shaker.
Iconic hood, man.
It really is. Of any shifter in the world, nothing like driving a pistol grip.
Yeah. No, I was adamant about that.
That's a must,
Yeah.
in my opinion. That's such a must with one of these old low cars. What a wonderful car. Boy, hey, you can tell how articulate that steering is.
Yeah.
It's going to handle quite well. I know we're not going fast, but you can get an idea of handling, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you can be cooking pretty good through here and not even worry about it. Salvaggio, well done, dude.
Yeah.
I keep catching myself over here. I'm dead quiet because I'm so enjoying this. This is what a...
He hit a home run with it.
Ooh, that was a nice little pop. I love when a car will shut me up. I'm serious, dude. This is so refined. Probably not even getting into boost. But I gotta be honest, the way they tuned this car, that it's that drivable, that it's not... I've been in 1,000 horsepower cars that are unruly. Like it'd be hard to cruise it at this pace.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to drive than I thought it'd be.
It's really, I mean, you could actually go out and enjoy this car with somebody that's not a hardcore car person.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think anybody sits in this interior, they're going to be just probably like me, constantly staring around at how beautiful it is. Blown away, dude. It's rare that a car makes me shut up and just enjoy the drive. It really is, honestly.
Yeah, what a place to take it too, huh?
This is so well done. part is you're not even digging in on it yet.
No, not even hardly.
But that's perfect, because that'll show great on camera, but for me personally, it's not scaring me. And you're being smart, brother. You haven't had any seat time in this car. You don't know what it's gonna do if you nail it, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna spin tires, dude. I promise you, this car, if you fucking were redlining it and banging gears, I'll bet you're gonna spin tires. I mean, you're making 1,000 fucking horsepower.
Yeah. Oh, hope that's not for me.
That's not for us. Now, see you guys, no trouble here. We're just cruising.
He definitely looked at me though.
Because he's checking out how bitchin' your car is.
Fair.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's
you really feel the rear squatting, you know?
Yeah.
Not a ton of movement, but you feel it digging down, which is what you want, right? Son of a bitch. Fucking hell. You're hitting like $4,000. You're not even coming.
I don't even think I'm hitting that.
It's crazy how much power this car is loaded up with. That just an exceptional car. I mean, you want to talk about details and understated, right? Like if you're not paying attention, this looks like just a beautiful Cuda, but the deeper you go into it, the more there is to find there. I mean, sitting in the interior alone while you're driving down the road, exceptional. The level of detail is so mind-numbing, and the car drives wonderfully. The way the suspension's set up, obviously all the power in the world, just totally blown away by this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this, man. Big thanks for hanging and watching what we do, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, man. Later.